Something strange is happening in software development. Code is being written faster than humans can review it.
Bugs are being fixed before anyone files a ticket. Entire features are being scaffolded, tested, and deployed with minimal human input. And the people closest to it aren't calling it automation anymore. They're calling it delegation. Because with the release of GPT-5.3 Codex, we may have crossed the line where AI isn't just helping developers write code, it's beginning to manage the act of building software itself. And that should make everyone pause. For years, AI coding tools promised productivity, autocomplete, smarter suggestions, faster debugging, useful but still very much tools. You typed, it responded. You stayed in control. GPT-5.3 Codex changes the tone of that relationship.
What's being demonstrated now isn't just code generation, it's systems awareness, long-running task execution,
Memory across sessions, the ability to understand intent, not just syntax. In other words, this isn't help me write a function. This is build the thing. And once you understand what that implies, the implications get much bigger than software. From assistance to agency. Earlier generations of AI coding models worked like enhanced spell check. They waited for prompts, predicted the next line, and required constant supervision. GPT 5.3 Codex appears to operate differently.
Instead of reacting line by line, it operates at the level of objectives. You don't just tell it what to write, you tell it what you want done.
A feature, a system, a workflow, and it begins breaking that down into steps, files, dependencies, tests, and revisions. That's a fundamental shift. The model isn't optimizing for correct syntax, it's optimizing for completion. It plans, it checks its own output, it iterates, and in some cases, it revises previous decisions without being explicitly told to. That's why people are using phrases like codes itself, not because it's conscious, but because it's no longer bound to single prompts. What makes GPT 5.3 Codex different? The real leap here isn't raw intelligence, it's continuity. GPT 5.3 Codex appears designed to hold context over extended development cycles. That means it remembers what it built earlier, why certain decisions were made, and how new changes affect the overall system. This matters because real software isn't written in one sitting. It evolves. Requirements shift, bugs appear, trade-offs emerge.
Traditional AI struggled here because it treated each prompt like a fresh conversation. Codex-style systems now behave more like junior engineers who stay on the project.
The disappearance of the small task. One of the quiet effects of this release is the elimination of small, annoying tasks. Boilerplate code, configuration files, API wiring, testing scaffolds, documentation drafts. These were never hard. They were just time-consuming. GPT 5.3 Codex absorbs this work instantly. What used to take hours now takes minutes. What used to require focus now runs in the background. This doesn't replace senior developers, but it radically compresses the path from idea to prototype. And that compression changes who gets to build. Why this is bigger than coding.
Here's where things get interesting. Code isn't just software. It's the language of modern infrastructure. Finance runs on code.
Logistics runs on code. Healthcare systems run on code. Governments run on code. When the barrier to building systems drops, the distribution of power shifts. A single person can now do what once required a team. A startup can now do what once required a department. An idea can now move from thought to execution with unprecedented speed. That's not just a productivity story, that's a leverage story.
Who this threatens and who it empowers. Junior developers are understandably nervous. When AI can write clean, functional code, the traditional learning curve changes. Entry-level tasks disappear. The apprenticeship model breaks. But senior developers aren't immune either. When implementation becomes cheap, architecture, judgment, and decision-making become the real bottlenecks. The value moves upward. Those who understand systems, trade-offs, and long-term consequences gain leverage. Those who only execute instructions lose it.
GPT 5.3 Codex doesn't eliminate developers, it stratifies them. The illusion of autonomy. Despite the hype, it's important to be precise. GPT 5.3 Codex doesn't
think in a human sense. It doesn't understand consequences the way people do. It doesn't bear responsibility. It optimizes patterns.
That means it can confidently produce code that works, and confidently produce code that fails in subtle, dangerous ways.
The danger isn't that AI writes bad code. The danger is that humans stop reviewing it critically. Agency without oversight isn't intelligence, it's risk. The new role of the human developer. As AI takes over execution, humans move into curation. You define goals, you set constraints, you review outcomes, you decide what matters.
The developer becomes less of a typist and more of a systems designer. Less about writing code, more about deciding what should exist in the first place.
This is a higher leverage role, but also a more mentally demanding one. You're no longer debugging syntax, you're debugging intent, and that's harder. Why codes itself freaks people out.
The phrase isn't literal, but it's emotionally accurate. People aren't afraid of faster tools. They're afraid of losing relevance.
When an AI can take a vague idea and turn it into a working product, it forces a question humans don't like asking. What part of this was uniquely me? The answer isn't zero, but it's smaller than it used to be, and that discomfort is real. This is a preview, not the end. GPT 5.3 Codex isn't the final form. It's an early glimpse of something larger, AI systems that manage complex processes over time.
Today, it's code. Tomorrow, it's operations. Then design. Then strategy. Each step removes friction. Each step shifts responsibility.
Each step demands better judgment from humans, not less. The mistake is thinking this is about replacement. It's about acceleration. Who wins in this world? The winners won't be the best coders. They'll be the best directors.
People who know what to build. People who know when to trust the system and when to stop it.
People who understand incentives, edge cases, and long-term effects. GPT 5.3 Codex doesn't eliminate human agency. It concentrates on it. And concentration always changes power structures. GPT 5.3 Codex isn't just another AI update. It's a signal that software creation is moving from manual labor to managed intelligence, from typing to delegation, from effort to leverage. Whether that excites you or terrifies you depends on how ready you are to move up the stack.
If this breakdown helped you see past the hype and understand what's actually changing, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications.
We focus on what these technologies mean, not just what they promise. Because the future isn't about whether AI can code. It's about who decides what gets built and who understands the consequences when it does.